Good morning. Today I'm going to be giving you some directions about our air pollution e-learning module. I know we're not here together in school, but we can still do just as much learning around our home and out in our community. Today we're going to be learning about air pollution. So our standards and instructions. These are the topics that we'll be covering today. Our standards are science, math, and technology standards. So our science standard says obtain, evaluate, and communicate information about the effects of pollution, air, land, and water, and humans on the environment. So we're just thinking through all those parts of pollution. Last time we talked about water pollution, so today we're going to be talking about air pollution. And it is so interesting. So get ready. Then our next subject is math. It says ask questions and answer them based on gathered information, observations, and appropriate graphical displays to solve problems relevant to everyday life. So that is just a fancy way of saying we're going to look at a graph that is about something in the real world, and we're going to look at it and ask questions and answer them based on what we see in the graph. You guys have done this before. It's a pie graph. So remember, it's like pieces of pizza. The bigger the piece, the more there is in that piece. Then our technology standard is we're going to become creative communicators. Students communicate clearly and express themselves creatively for a variety of purposes using the platforms, tools, styles, formats, and digital media appropriate to their goals. So today we're going to be using something called Padlet that you guys have used before to have basically a conversation with each other. Even though we're not together, we're going to discuss some things on our Padlet board. So our directions are today you will click the next arrow on your keyboard to move from slide to slide. You will not need to leave this presentation for any assignments unless there's a link that you click within the presentation. So you don't need to Google anything. You don't need to open any tabs. Anything you need to look at is linked within here, and then you'll just come right back to the presentation when you're done with it. All instructions are included within this presentation, and please be sure to watch the video on the next slide. Guess what? This is the video. So you have already made it here. This is where the video should have been, and you'll watch this and read those instructions on the last slide, and you'll continue reading the instructions on each slide. But if you need to come back to this video in case you don't understand my written instructions, that is totally okay. I'm still going to be walking you through each slide and what you're supposed to do on each one. So this is a handy-dandy checklist I've made you that will help you know when you've completed each task. As you complete each thing, like read instructions, you'll grab a smiley face over here, click, and drag it to cover the square. Once you've watched this video, you'll grab a smiley face, click, and drag it to cover the square. So you will just do this after each slide. You'll just check in here and make sure there was nothing you were supposed to check off. Once this is full, you'll know you've completed everything, and I've even included it one more time so you can double check at the end and make sure you've done all assignments today. Sound good? Good. Okay, so to engage, first, we're going to take this pre-test to show me what you already know. I know we're not experts on air pollution. Today is our first day really talking about it. So we're not going to know everything, and that's okay, but sometimes we can use our background knowledge, what we see, what we hear, what we've read, to connect some things to new concepts. So maybe you've heard or read something before that has to do with air pollution. This is your time to show me that and maybe make some connections. Once you finish, make sure you've put your name on it and pressed submit. Then you'll go back to our slideshow and click the next slides. This assessment should look just like this. So you'll type your first name, last name. Our questions say, what is air pollution? What is smog? What are some objects you think create air pollution? What are some things humans can do to reduce their air pollution? And rate your understanding of air pollution. You guys know how to do these, so just try your very best. You're not supposed to know everything right now. On our next slide, it says watch this video and answer the questions below. So you'll click right here where this arrow is pointing, and it'll take you to a little video. If anything pops up, just click the X on it, and you'll click play here. So you'll watch this video, then you'll come back to my slideshow, and you'll answer your questions where it says type your answer here. Our questions say, what is one source of air pollution in the video that you use daily? So think about things in your house. Think about things that you get to school in. Think about things that you use to do chores. Think about those objects around us that may contribute to air pollution. The video talks about a lot of these, so this will give you lots of good hints if you watch closely. Then our next question says, how does leaving my air conditioner on affect animals? They're not in my house. The squirrels aren't in my house. The birds aren't in my house. How does leaving my air on hurt them? I want you to think about this after you watch this video and do your best to type your answer in the box below. For these answers, I do want complete sentences. Try your very best, and I at least need complete thoughts. Go to the next slide. Explore. So for this one, it says walk around your house. Are there any lights left on that there shouldn't be? Let's look. I have one right there. Oops, right there. What are 3 things you could have in adults? So I don't want you to go unplug things, right? Electricity is something that can harm us. But what are 3 things you could ask an adult to unplug when you're not using them, so you can reduce your air pollution? In the video, it talks about lots of things in our house that we just leave on all day, plugged in, and we're not even using them. Watch that video carefully, and then I want you to make a list and share them on this Padlet with your classmates. So for Padlet, you're going to click here on this link. Oh my goodness, that didn't take us where it was supposed to. I'll have that fixed for you guys in just a little bit. But it'll take you to a Padlet where you'll post a sticky note. And you guys have done these before. Make sure you put your name in the subject. And you'll just answer the question of some things that are in your house that you could unplug. And are there any lights left on in your house that there shouldn't be? Feel free to let us know. And everyone's going to be sharing together so it feels like we are all together. Then explain. Read this article. So this article is right here. As you see, my hand is telling me to click here, so I'm clicking this red link. I've even turned it red so you know exactly where to click. This is a kid's guide to air pollution. So we're going to read this whole thing. You should be able to read it, and any words that are unfamiliar, I have a plan for on the next slide. So I want you to read this article, then come back to our slideshow. After you have read, play the matching Quizlet vocabulary game that uses words that may be unfamiliar from the reading. You may know these words. You may use your context clue to figure out what they mean. But we're still going to practice with this vocabulary. So you'll click here. The code is already typed in. You click join. Put your first name for me, please, and your last initial. And you're going to click join activity. Once I've joined, I'm going to click start game. It's going to have me match things. So you'll click definitions. Look, I just helped you with one there. You'll click definitions and their vocab word that match them. So air particles could be tiny solids or liquid bits floating in the air like dust, smoke, and pollen. See, those turn green, so I know they match. Your goal is to get rid of everything on the board and make everything match 3 times. So you should get better at this. These words should become more familiar, and we just sometimes need extra practice. Even if you get them all on the first time, that is okay. I want you to keep on playing. Then, the next part of our explain is look at this graph of populations and countries across the world. So that's how many people are living in each country. How do you think the air pollution in China, which is this blue part here, will be different from the air pollution in Japan, which is this little golden, orangey, yellow color here? Answer on the next slide. So China has a lot of people, and Japan has a smaller amount of people. So, based on the graph, how do you think air pollution in China will be different from the air pollution in Japan? Again, you'll click right there where it says type your answer here, and you'll give me a few full sentences explaining to me how you think it's going to be different. It's okay if you're not sure. I just want you to try your best to give me your thoughts. On this next slide, it says evaluate. So this is where it's time for you to show me what you've learned from our lesson today. So I will use this to tell what we've got from our lesson today. I'll look at this and see the questions. They're related directly to what we read, watched, heard, and saw, so they should be familiar, and they'll tell me how we did. So all questions came from the vocabulary activity, video, and reading, so you know this. You just did all these activities. You are super familiar with this, and feel free to look back over everything before you do this assessment. So I want you to try your best. Even if you don't know something, just give it your best effort. It's better to try than not try at all. And then all are written responses, so you'll just type me out a sentence or two. Some may not need a full sentence. Just try your best to give me full and complete thoughts. When you're done, you'll click submit. So this will look almost just like the pretest. You will look at this. It says air pollution post-assessment. Obviously, write your first and last name. Then you're going to do what is air pollution? What is smog? What are some objects that create air pollution? What are some things humans can do to reduce their air pollution? How does air pollution affect living things? What does contaminate mean? What are emissions? Rate your understanding of air pollution. So this one's not right or wrong. It just tells me how confident you're feeling in your learning. Then you will click submit. You guys have got this, and I know that you're going to know how to do it. Make sure you're taking your time through each slide, reading carefully, listening carefully, and doing all activities. Then on this next slide, I've put the checklist here for you again. And I've added one more step. Check the checklist one more time on slide 11. So that's this slide. Once you've completed all the smileys and double checked, you are good to submit this to me. I'm so thankful that you've taken the time to look over this today. Make sure on that scavenger hunt, you are walking around your house. You can walk around outside. Whatever you need to do to get up and get moving and getting this done. I'm so glad that you're here and we're able to participate together. And thank you again for giving me your very best effort. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you soon.